Warning, I'm on a journey to handicap home runs in Major League Baseball. I'm not claiming to be sharp, I'm not claiming to have an edge. I bet based on the three Ps, pitcher, park, and price. Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me. I don't want to read all of that today. Really small slate. It starts early. We don't have much to talk about in the way of yesterday. A lot of it was pretty blah. I made some decent projections, some not so decent projections. My best projection was the fact that I thought there would be home runs in this game. There were 7, so that feels good. Nick Kurtz hit 2, I believe, so that's great. I want to show you my outfit today. My daughter picked it out. She said, "Dad, wear your Green Means Go shirt today." That's what she calls this. So we got on. For the pants, she picked out these sort of peach colored, and then for the socks, red. So if you want to see the whole ensemble, yeah, so, I mean, there's just something beautiful about the innocence of a child not knowing what's right and wrong. Like, this is clearly wrong by society's standards. But you know what? She just picked out what she thought was cool. And so here I am wearing it. Will I go out in public in it? No. Yesterday, we did hit our DraftKings parlay boost with the Dodgers, the Yankees, Boston under, San Diego over. San Diego didn't score a run. Thankfully, Toronto scored 14. New York hit a walk-off. LA trailed the whole game, won it, I believe, in the 8th inning. And in some ways, I feel like we're pretty lucky with what happened. In our parlay or our round robin, Zach Neto hit one. Nobody else hit one. So we lose all of those. We still come up 0.4 units on the day. So far, our park rating still pretty good. 3, 2.5, 1 on my color scale. We're down minus 1.5 units on leans, up 7.8 on official. I like where this is headed. I like what we're doing. If you want to sign up for Novig, do that. Here's today. We'll start with the game in New York. Eovaldi and Rodon are pitching. I think you could get about 3 home runs in this game. It's cold and windy, and I would favor left-handed batters specifically for the Yankees here. I think they're priced fairly, but not so tempting are they that I even put them as leans. San Diego and Toronto. Bowden Francis is pitching. He has allowed 14 home runs this season in his 9 starts, and I think San Diego should surely be able to pick up the pace against him, and the fact that they scored 0 runs yesterday hopefully lights a fire under them, and they don't come into the game still sluggish. So I say take your pick in this game. Again, I don't have any official leans, but I do think it's a good matchup for the Padres, and I think it would be a place that you should hone in on and really kind of decide if you can find specific value for your own bankroll there. Game in Colorado. I think the Colorado right-handed bats have the most value. Ranger Suarez has pitched 3 games this year. He's been okay, but I think they're pricing him a little bit better than he actually is. For the Phillies, Stott and Castellanos would be a lean. Not that the Castellanos narrative even is relevant anymore, but rest in peace, Jim Irsay. We'll just say that. Ezekiel Tovar at 650 and Britton Doyle at 600 on FanDuel. I think you get 3 or 4 home runs in this one. I think anybody is truly in play here. So do what you want, but if you want to just purely play based on value, I think Colorado right-handed bats are where you should look. For the Angels in Oakland, it's the same stadium, still great conditions. I don't think we see 7 home runs today. I think the pitching is much better, and therefore, I didn't see a ton of value outside of Nolan Shonawell. He's hit one in this series, and I like him at this 10-1 price over on Novig. Game in Pittsburgh is bizarre because while Pittsburgh is pitching a minor league guy that they've called up who hasn't even looked good in the minors, so I do think the Brewers might have value in terms of guys you can target against him. The Brewers have not named their starter, so it's hard for me to price Pittsburgh bats accordingly. I've left it purple, which just means I don't know. It's undecided right now. So as this game gets closer to the first pitch, maybe take a look and see if you like anything. So far, from what I saw for the Brewers, again, I think there's some good numbers out there. The park isn't great. It's chilly, but the wind is helping. And a lot of the lines for Pittsburgh, like I said, weren't available. The lines for the Brewers are good, but I just don't know with this new pitcher and things of that nature. So just be warned there. There may be value, but I don't have anything specifically to tell you. This is the last of it. This is the rest of the day. And here we go back to Detroit, where we continue to see chilly, windy weather, that you get good prices on guys because the conditions look bad, but time and time again, these games in Detroit's producing home runs. So I'm going to go back to that and be optimistic. Now Detroit is coming back after their trip to St. Louis, or their road trip to St. Louis. Cleveland comes in after their weird series with Minnesota and games getting canceled. So if teams come in sluggish after that sort of situation, if you want to stay away, I understand. But I think the prices are really good on some of these guys, and I don't think the chilliness and windiness is going to be a problem, because Tanner Beebe has been awful, borderline awful. I think 11 home runs and 9 starts. And Jack Flaherty has been not sharp either. Like, he's been fine, but he's given up some home runs. So Daniel Schneemann, Jose Ramirez, Gleyber Torres, and Colt Keith all, I think, have value. Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter as well. So pick and choose there. I feel like I pick Kerry Carpenter when he doesn't, and I avoid him when he does. So you don't see his name officially on here, which means maybe he's a good pick today just based on that. Game in Boston is sub 50 degrees. It's very cold for late May. It's very cold. Wind is blowing 20 miles an hour into the batter. A lot of people are going to say, well, it's accounted for. It's priced in. Wind doesn't matter. Park weather. Then play it. Then just pick winners, baby. I don't like it. I don't see value, so it's a red pick from me. This game in Washington got canceled yesterday, rescheduled for today. Trevor Williams and AJ Smith-Schroyer are pitching. I would say for Atlanta, Ozzie Albies at 750 looks good. For Washington, Nathaniel Lowe at 800, CJ Abrams at 560, and I put Washington left-handed batters ? I might lose credibility. I don't want to be the boy who cried Nathaniel Lowe. I don't want to be the content creator who cried left-handed Washington Nationals. Sunday, we had a day. We flat out had a day with calling that. And I've had a problem, we'll call it a problem, of repeatedly going back to this team with lefties. I will just tell you this. A right-handed batter is pitching for Atlanta. The wind is blowing out to right field, which helps lefties. It's going to be about 60 degrees. It's not too warm, but it's not bad conditions by any means. And I think the prices are more than fair. So if you want to look at some Washington left-handed batters, if you want to pick and choose there, I think it's a fine thing to do. I'm not saying it's as good as Sunday, where I was all in, where I went out and made an AI-generated photo of myself. That's how confident I was. No AI-generated photos today. It's just a suggestion. And then lastly, this game in Houston had me tempted. Why did I leave this as purple? It shouldn't be purple. It should be yellow. I apologize. Had me tempted to repeat Sunday's antics and bet Pena, Altuve, Isaac Paredes, Christian Walker, Jake Myers, Cam Smith, Mauricio Dubon, that's a Romeo and Juliet guy. I think the right-handers against George Kirby are good. So good that it's making me question why. Houston batters are priced well. Target right-handed batters. Kirby is making his first start. How does that fare? Could he come out sharp, fresh? Absolutely. Could he come out a little bit loose, dull? Yes. Last year before, he wasn't so restrictive on the home run. I looked at his numbers. I can't remember them offhand, but I felt like he was giving up a fair amount of home runs, at least one a start, right? Like, he wasn't unhittable. And Houston returns home where the left field is shorter. Houston right-handers hit better at home. It's it all fits. And I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to get cocky. I'm not going to go back and do a Sunday, but I'm saying there is an avenue where Houston, what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to actually do, and I'm going to report back tomorrow. When the lineup comes out, I'm going to write down the best prices for every guy. And then I'm going to say, let's say hypothetically we put 0.1 units on all of them. So 0.9 units total. Once lineups come down, I won't even get good price. I'll just take the price that's available at the time. We'll chart it, and we'll see how we would have done. Because I'm just interested in these moments where I'm like, okay, there's value top to bottom on every guy, and I don't see why. I don't understand why. I don't think George Kirby on his first start of the year is worthy of that, because the park is great. That's not the problem. Yes, this team's traveled. Maybe there's some fatigue. I don't know. Okay, official plays. You see there's no green and bold, so there's no straight plays today. I'm playing one play. And it's not smart. It's not a good use of money. It's not wise. It's not sharp. It's not any of these things. Did I say sharp twice? I may have. FanDuel has a 30% profit boost. I took 3 guys that I really want to see home run, that I think have the most raw value on the slate. That when their name pops up on the Twitter notification for the home run, I'm going to feel good about it. And I'm going to put 0.1 units on it. And if we lose 0.1 units today, I can live with that. And we can have fun from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, hopefully. Hopefully we get to that last game. It's Brenton Doyle, Colt Keith, and Jeremy Pena. Would I tail this with your own money? Not unless you like it. You want to have a fun sweat with me? You want to ride with me? Great. But be prepared that we lose by 5 o'clock. We don't even see the final 2. It's just the way that sports betting goes. So be smart. Do what you want. This is the way I feel. There's 2 games in a dome, 2 games above 60 degrees, and then every other game is below 60 degrees. So it's not great. I've chosen one of the games above 60, one of the games in the dome, and then one game where I think the weather is being overpriced, overcalculated. That's what I got. Hand, foot, and mouth. We're hoping to avoid it. I was supposed to go on vacation next week, and it's a touchy subject around the household, around the Green Beans Go household. We were supposed to go on vacation. My wife loves vacations. I don't care for them. I go because other people want me to go. I could stay at home and live my life and be content and be happy. And this was going to be a great one. Family. I was going to celebrate my mom's birthday, going to visit her cousin, mostly paid for, just like a good cheap getaway. And this hand, foot, and mouth won't go away. I know my wife's getting bumps. So I've avoided it so far. We'll see. Knock on wood. James Wood. Bet James Wood today. Hand, foot, and mouth, James Wood, left-hander, knock on wood. Full circle. Nice segue. Love you. See you tomorrow.